Hi everyone! I can't do anything without this one being there with me. So, when you see the random cattail, there's nothing I can do about it. Just let it happen. My name is Blitz. I'm the newest member of the entropy system. And I don't really know what to do for an introduction. It seems a little cringe to be like, hi, I'm this cartoon character and I have X, Y, and Z personality traits and whatever. That's kind of how I was formed, was the brain was like, you like this, you don't like this, and these are your hobbies, whatever. And I was like, you don't know that. Like, I was just created. I don't know what I like. There's no way you know what I like, random subconscious being. So I'm still just trying to figure that out. I learned that I'm really good at masking as when at a job that I hate. Desk jobs are just not my thing, but I do like getting paid, so. It's really funny because we hadn't even watched very much of the show Hell of a Boss when I was created. Like, I think we just started and our brain latched on to, oh, that guy doesn't give a and he has no complicated emotions whatsoever. That's what we need. And then, like, I was there. The very next day, the very next episode we watched, right after I was created, was the one where the FBI drugs him and he has a weird acid trip about how all of his I don't give a f***ery is a mask and he's scared to let people get close to him and has no self-confidence. And I was like, so much for no complicated emotions. But I guess that doesn't apply to me because that came after the brain made me. There was a lot of fear and resistance from the rest of the system when I got created, and a lot of like trying to make me not happen, which I get, and also trying to make me different from who I am. Like, oh my god, why this character? We don't need that kind of chaos. And that kind of influenced me a little bit, I think. I don't super identify with the character that I'm based on, but I do love how much fan art and fan songs there are about, you know, not me, but also kind of me. Also, when the brain created me, like, I was like, okay, I'm a guy. And the brain was like, we really want you to be a girl. And I was like, nah, thanks. So I got to have a say in that, which was cool. But yeah, since I don't really know much about myself, Win posted on the community page and asked you guys to ask me questions, so I'm going to answer those as best I can. A couple people asked, do you like horses? Okay, so we've watched all of Hell of a Boss twice, and we didn't pick up that Blitz had an obsession with horses until we watched a voice actor panel where they talked about it, and we had to like Google it and be like, is Blitz obsessed? How did we miss that? And it's all mostly background stuff or one-off jokes, and it just didn't register to us. So, I mean, I don't dislike horses, but they definitely aren't like my obsession. What's my job in the inner world? One of Wynn's family members said that I seem to be a stress relief valve, which is probably the closest thing to true and accurate that I could use to describe myself in relationship to everybody else. I don't really know what my job is other than not having big emotional feelings about life, I guess. So stress relief valve seems to be the most accurate. Are there any differences between me and my source, the Hell of a Boss character? Yeah, a lot. I don't like the idea of killing people. I definitely wouldn't stalk my friends and peep at them through the window. There's a lot of like, you know, adorably problematic character points with Blitz that just didn't translate over to me, which I'm happy about because in a cartoon, there's no consequences for things, but that's not how real life works. While I like the idea of like cutting loose and having a good time, I also understand consequences and have no desire to make life hell. Somebody asked, I've been wanting to get into Hell of a Boss. Do you like it? If so, what's your favorite thing about it? Well, I don't think I would be here if we didn't like the show. It's definitely a comfort show for most of the system, if not all of the system. And I do like watching Helluva Boss. I like the show a lot. I'm not the biggest fan of like the earlier episodes where they were just going for like shock humor and it was all kind of one beat that way. But after like episode 4 or 5, like once we get there, it starts having more depth and more emotional complexity, and I really like it after that point. I like the show because you can have these stupid, ridiculous characters who do the most off-the-wall stuff, but also they're very complexly written, and we get to see very grounded sides of them. I think that the sharp back and forth of those two dynamics is really fun. I cannot recommend the pilot to anybody, because they throw out the one word that we hate more than any other word, but they don't say it after that. So, you know, if raunchy, offensive humor is your thing, maybe you'll enjoy it. And the last question I got asked, is there anything that I really enjoy doing? So, I haven't gotten to have a lot of like real world experience yet, as I talked about earlier, and it seems that I get pushed out in stressful and unpleasant situations. And I don't enjoy being in those, but I guess I navigate them appropriately and better than anyone else would. I mean, I guess that's why I'm here. The only not stressed thing I had was going over to a friend's house for dinner, and I enjoyed that a lot. So I guess I like being social. That's what I like. Hold on. Wynn was editing, and there's another question that popped up on the YouTube that I want to answer. So, how do you feel about your source? Not Helluva Boss in general, just you. Do you associate it as you, or are you just kind of there like, yeah, that's why I'm here? I'm always curious to hear how introjects feel about their source when they aren't exactly good people. While I don't look at Blitz in the show and go, oh my god, yeah, that's me, it's still validating in a way to see him and know why I was created from him. Like, yeah, he does a lot of really shitty things in the show, but there's also a lot of like innate goodness in him. Like, boy has no tools as far as coping with trauma and becoming a better person. Like, I can't imagine there are a lot of good therapists that end up in hell, but he still has moments where he's actively trying to like break a cycle of trauma and abuse. He tries very hard to be a good, supportive, encouraging parent to Luna. Even though he can be mean to his employees, there's still a lot of scenes where he goes out of his way to make sure they're okay. He's doing the best with what he has, which is nothing. And even though I was technically created before we got to those points in the show, it's still nice to see goodness in a character that was your source. I don't know. It's complicated to both identify and not identify with a character. But I do have a lot of warm feelings towards Blitz. I hope this wasn't too disappointing of a video. I know it's going to be pretty short, but I will get to know me later. You get to know me as I get to know me. Yeah? Yeah. Oh shit, we have patrons I need to thank. Ugh. A big thank you to all of our patrons featured here, and an extra big thank you to Sarah Beers, Sarah Goley, and Pyro. If you would like to be a part of our Patreon, vote on video topics, be a part of our monthly Zoom calls, link is in the description below. And because I've been told I need to do the normal sign off, you are loved, you are valuable, and you are valid. See you guys in another video. Bye!